Sergeant.
That's better. That's good. Now this experience through our camp will last roughly about between 20 and 30 minutes. So please stay hydrated during this time here. But let me give you a brief history of why we've come to this point in time, why we were forming a 2nd Virginia Regiment. Now you all know that Williamsburg has been the capital of Virginia since 1715, right? And at that point, 1715, we are a very loyal British colony. We were very, very loyal. In fact, we are sending some of our Virginia men to fight and die for the British crown. But our common enemy, France, is defeated in the French and Indian War in 1763. And of course, England claims all that land east of the Mississippi River. If you're a Virginian fighting with the British Army during this time, you're promised land and money. And so many Virginians are beginning to settle west of the Appalachian Mountains, only to encounter hostile Indians. After the British government puts down this rebellion, known as Pontiac's Rebellion, they forbid further settlement west of the Appalachian Mountains. Also, British Parliament begins to tax us colonists to help pay for that French and Indian War. Now, are we represented in Parliament? No. Not at all, right? So we, of course, are going to demonstrate politically and also with violence to get rid of, try to repeal those acts of Parliament. Now, as tensions continue to build and build and build, we Virginians hear about what happened in Boston when a bunch of hoodlums poured tea over one of their ships into the Boston Harbor. Now, the British government doesn't punish just those men responsible. They punish everybody. They closed that port of Boston, put 4,000 British soldiers in your homes. Now, we Virginians, we don't like this at all. We do not agree with destruction of property like that occurred, but we do not want British soldiers patrolling our streets in Williamsburg. So when in the early morning hours of April 21st of 1775, Lord Dunmore, our royal governor, has British Marines come into our magazine and they take most of the gunpowder, as well as disabling many of their weapons, taking that gunpowder back to a British warship. Now, how do we know, as Virginians, that the royal governor is not planning an invasion? We believe that British regulars might be in our streets within a few days. So we begin to mobilize into independent companies of men to try to get that powder back. And so Lord Dunmore is confronted by our men. He actually agrees to pay for the powder. But he flees Williamsburg just 2 months later when news hits the city at the Battle of Lexington and Concord, when 1,000 British soldiers fired on the Lexington militia. Now, of course, that upsets people here in Virginia. He flees. Virginia puts itself under a posture of defense. The governor and the king declare Virginia a state of rebellion, and all loyal subjects should have the duty to join them and put down the rebellion. So 2 Virginia regiments are formed by a committee of safety. We are the 2nd Virginia Regiment. You are fortunate to be under the command of Colonel William Woodford, who is a veteran of the French and Indian War. Anybody ever heard of Patrick Henry? He is the commander of the 1st Virginia Regiment, but how much military experience does he have? 0. He may be able to talk loud, but fight, we're not sure. So you are lucky to be in the 2nd Virginia Regiment. Now we're about to proceed into the camp here. A few things before we go in. Please silence all modern devices, as you're now entering the year 1776. There are no modern devices there, so silence them all. Also, please drink freely. If you have any emergency situation, please let me or anybody in camp know so we can get help for you immediately. Stay with the group, and I believe that covers it. Any questions about that? Everybody have teeth?
Yes.
We have teeth. We have teeth, right? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Well, you're now playing the part